Okay, I can see that our guests are also here. So maybe we can start. First, let's do a microphone check. Vlad, can you hear me?
Good afternoon. Sure, I hear you. Pleasure
Okay.
having a chat with you today.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. So I think we are good to go. Let's start. Let's kick this off. So just for our audience, today we are going to talk about a very interesting game and a very complicated game, which looks like any Web2 game, which is very, very advanced. And uh, the important part is, or the interesting part is that it's on the Web3, on the blockchain. So today we are going to talk about Gunzilla Games, about the studio. We are going to talk about Off the Grid, their game, and hopefully Vlad will just walk us through the process, walk us through the background of the team and what they want to achieve with this game. So yeah, please welcome my guest today, Vlad from Gunzilla Game. Hi, Vlad. I think the best would be if we could start with some introductions. So maybe if you could give us a brief background about yourself, and then we will kick it off from there about the project and about the game.
Sure, sure. Thank you for this opportunity to have this chat with you. So probably we'll start with short introduction. My name is Vlad Korolev. I'm CEO and co-founder at Gunzilla Games. Before I co-founded Gunzilla Games already 3.5 years ago, by the way, I worked together with my business partner and current Gunzilla co-founder, Alexander Zoll, on a AAA free-to-play multiplayer shooter, which is called Warface. We operated together this game on behalf of our own game development studio for many years. And besides of this game, we developed many other projects in gaming space, and we added lots of projects in this industry, which are used by millions of users. I would like to highlight some of them. For example, Blink, which has 15 million users worldwide. It's a matchmaking platform for traditional gamers where they can find teammates for multiplayer games. Besides of building consumers products, we also built enterprise solutions for game developers. For example, our company, which is called Sonos, provides voice communication tools for AAA game developers and mobile game developers. We started it more than 4 years ago. Before joining the gaming industry, I spent a decade in fintech, where I was a co-founder and technical director of a payment system. And getting closer to Gunzilla, which is the most important baby in my life, I think, for myself and for my co-founder Alex as well. We came to an idea of setting up Gunzilla, which the studio which stands behind AAA free-to-play multiplayer shooter Warface. Warface. After we worked on Warface, we understood that after we gained so much experience in working on a free-to-play live service game, Warface, which I just mentioned, we can create another game that could push the industry to a completely next level. And this is where we are now, with Gunzilla Games, which has been developing Off the Grid for already 3.5 years. Long story, not short, but this is it.
Well, it's a very interesting story because I already hear from what you said that you have experience in gaming and in payment systems as well. And I think if we talk about games on the blockchain, these two experiences are crucial and probably the most important because the experience and obviously the Web3 game.
Thank you. By the way, I've never thought about this in this kind of shape, but I totally agree with you, especially on behalf of a technical director of a payment system. I went through the most difficult verifications and certifications made by Visa and Mastercard. So I probably know even too good all of the difficulties which current uh, traditional economy has, and I definitely wanted to change it a lot while I was working in fintech. But as you see now, I'm changing it on behalf of the gaming industry.
Interesting, interesting. Now let's talk just briefly about the team, because when I scroll through the team, what can I say? I see very big names. I see Rockstar Games in the experience, and Assassin's Creed, and many more. And I'm not a big gamer. I do have consoles I played before when I had time. Meaning that these experiences, these names must be mainstream. So is it how did you manage to put together such a big team and with appropriate proper experience with valuable, let's say, skills in the portfolio?
Sure. Would love to give you more insights on this. We're really very proud of uniting such an amazing, talented team. Uh, I can say that it's definitely impossible to build a AAA game today without having a AAA team. So unfortunately, today, passion and believe in a product is not enough to build something what hundreds of millions of players will love enjoying on everyday basis for years. This is why experience plays a huge role when you unite a team under the hood of one company. So I'll probably walk you through some of our team members, like, for example, our chief visionary officer, whose name is Neil Blomkamp. You probably may know him as a
Yes.
very well-known movie director who directed such films as District 9, Elysium, Chappie. Neil, who joined us already years ago. He is responsible in our game for every visual object which players will interact with. So he's leading all our departments related to art, animations, VFX, sound design, everything what players will see, feel from the universe which we are creating for our consumers, for our user base. I forgot to mention during my introduction that besides of being a CEO of this company and a co-founder and running this company, which is, by the way, 200 people strong, I'm also an avid gamer, what is also might be quite unique for traditional gaming space, because my real hobby, how I spend my weekends, I'm playing games, and my favorite genre is called battle royales, where I have spent thousands of hours playing such games as PUBG, Call of Duty Warzone, Apex Legends. I started playing Fortnite even before it became a battle royale. And why I'm mentioning this, because I'm getting closer to other parts of our team, other representatives who are making this game amazing, such as Timur Davidenko, our chief technical officer who used to develop a game development engine, CryEngine, before it was acquired by Amazon. He used to be technical director of such amazing shooter games as, for example, Crysis, one of the most well-known gaming franchises. He also used to be technical director on Warface, so I've been working with him for more than 7 years together. We are very proud of working with our second technical director who used to be technical director of the company which stood behind the game called Metro, also very popular shooter, and the studio called 4A Games, which also has some Ukrainian roots, not some, but very strong Ukrainian roots, as I personally have as well, and Gunzilla has, and we're very proud of it. I would like to also mention other team members such as Scott Probin, who is our game director, who joined us from Ubisoft, Richard K. Morgan, who stood behind the original lore for our game, and who wrote an amazing book called Altered Carbon, which later on became one of the most highly rated shows on Netflix. And he committed a huge achievement by creating a storytelling for also Crysis franchise. So I can talk about this amazing people for ages. Actually, every Gunzillian is worth of spending some time to highlight her or his and all of their achievements. But I know that we're short in time, so if you have any specific
Yeah.
questions about some of them, I would love to walk you through them.
Yes, I think we should have separate podcasts for each of them, because what you just enlisted sounds very interesting. And by the way, with the Warzone, maybe I will send you an invite to our squad for weekends if you have that experience. You can only help us. Uh, okay, let's go forward. Let's go forward because I want to talk just a bit about building a game. Um, Now, building a AAA game, obviously, it's a huge challenge, and building it on the blockchain, and we will enter into details. It's a bigger challenge. When you start to plan to just make a to-do list, let's say, is it accent on game, or accent on that is on the blockchain or on the payment system? How do you start building a AAA game on the blockchain?
Sure. So I think that the whole concept, the whole idea is not about building a blockchain game, as this definition says. I think it's first of all about building the best high quality product for traditional gamers. So I'm talking about the game with best ever produced and developed visuals, gameplay scenarios, animations, VFX, game design. So first of all, off the grid, had an aim to build the best ever built game from quality standpoint of view. And second was the new approach of building a completely new economy for an established gaming industry. Because as we know, every 4 6 years, gaming industry moves from one monetization model to another, and I would like to say that the introduction uh, to build the whole game, to build the whole games economy on blockchain, came to us. This idea came to us after we worked on a free-to-play game, Warface, which is a completely free-to-play game and monetizes through in-game purchases, battle passes, and other options, which are completely optional for players. So they pay for it only if they enjoy the product and they want to spend several dollars on showing off themselves in a game, of course, by completely avoiding pay to win mechanics. So we had a dream. We set up an aim to build a new way how the whole economy will work in games. Of course, it's built on the concept of decentralized real ownership, which belongs to gamers, not to us. The problem is that today every game developer controls everything, right? For what players are paying for. For some gamers might spend thousands of dollars for in-game purchases, but their accounts can be easily blocked, and for example, by any decision made by game developer. And
Yeah, sure.
as you probably may see in other games today, that all of the content which players are acquiring, they acquire this content from the game developer. So what we decided to completely change here, that we decided to build a decentralized economy, which will be operated by the community. So what does it mean? In our game, Gunzilla, as a game developer, or the game, which is called Off the Grid, will never put a price on any asset. All of the prices will be determined by community. People will decide how much money every asset is worth of based on its rarity. But you can build this rarity only if your assets are rarable and they have a limited supply. Uh, this is why we understood that the only option how we could build it, keeping in mind that we built our own layer 1 to operate the system on Avalanche subnet. We didn't find any other solution than how to establish decentralized trading between players without setting it up on blockchain.
That's very interesting. Thank you for the explanation. We will go into the assets and into being it on the blockchain and the price. Let's say the price definition. Um, Now, you said that the first thing was to create the game and then to put it on the blockchain, and that is for the sake of decentralization. So everyone owns everything they have, and they can sell it and do whatever they want with it, improve it maybe. Um, could you give us a brief general description about Off the Grid, and then we will go into the details of various parts of it.
Sure, would absolutely love to. So, Off the Grid is the next generation battle royale with PvP and PvE components. It's going to be the very first battle royale with a storytelling campaign inside of the game. So imagine that you will be diving into a storytelling narrative campaign at the same place where 150 players are fighting with each other. Off the Grid is not a play to earn game, it's a play to own game, where the whole economy is based on blockchain. As I mentioned before, it's a third person view shooter, which will be available simultaneously on PC, PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series X. We will not support consoles of previous generation. Because of my next statement that the whole game was built from the very beginning using Unreal Engine 5 in cyberpunk setting. And we're building this game for mid-core shooter fans who are probably most of them are 16 years old plus. I would like to also mention that we're not targeting our game on Web3 audience. We're targeting our game on traditional gamers, and we want to show them how beneficial the decentralized economy can be for them, and yeah, this is our main aim.
But this is very interesting. So you want to motivate, or you want to show traditional gamers who are very, let's say, I know a couple of gamers because I also have some friends, and they can be very hard to motivate or to convince, to abandon a type of game and try something else. So that is why that is what you are planning. Because let's be honest, what you just mentioned before, right? That people can spend some money on Web2 games on items, and that can stay there if their account is deactivated. The only source of revenue is if people or gamers participate in esports, right? For example, or gaming competitions. But now this is a whole other thing, and I think this could be a good challenge as well, because if you start to play, collect items, develop items, then you also start to learn how to be a businessman there. Am I
Um,
saying this right?
yeah, thank you for your question. By the way, it's a very good question. Um, Actually, we never plan to promote our game in the way that you can make profit from it. So you may probably find many articles on the web how players in CS:GO and some other games how they sell skins, for example, worth of $200,000, $300,000. And this is a reality that you may find these items by simply playing the game. But and you can also do it in off the grid. You can find an asset worth of this amount of money. It's possible, but we don't think that our audience will be playing our game because of this initiative. We believe that they will be playing the game because it will have completely unique quality and next generation game design, which they will be enjoying a lot, and an ability to find a super rarable item worth of any money will be a great advantage for their experience. Also, what's important to mention that all of their assets, which they collect in a game, even by simply playing the game, they will belong to them and to nobody else. So all of our players, they have the full ownership, and I would say that the challenge is to implement this functionality in a game which has a AAA quality, and this is our daily job. This is what we are working on right now.
Well, thank you very much for your answer. It's great to hear that. Let's go a bit into the details of the game, of Off Grid. I watched the trailers, I watched the pictures, everything you posted on your website and on Twitter, and I have to say that it's very detailed, right? I mean, we see a futuristic dystopian future where people or soldiers, fighters have cyborg arms or legs and weapons. And I think that just recently you also posted or published some videos about the complexity of the armament of the guns. My question here is, how detailed are these going to be separate NFTs, or how do you start? Do you start by having a, let's say, less complexity, like one gun is one NFT, or you will have like, okay, do you have the basic gun as an NFT, as a collectible, and then you can just put everything on it. You can improve it. Same goes obviously for the skins, for the outfits. How do you approach this problem or this challenge? Because I guess that it is a challenge in deciding how detailed you should start with.
Thank you for your question. I actually see here two questions, and would
Yes,
like to
actually,
start.
yes.
Yeah, I would like to start with. Thank you very much for checking out all the content which we're publishing on our social channels and with our other news media partners. Definitely, some of our videos already made millions of organic views with zero marketing budget, and we treat it as a as a as a good response to what we are doing. Uh, as an additional comment, I would like to say that please fasten your seatbelt and wait for a completely next level of content which will arrive soon, and that it's only a very beginning, even before the release of the game. I would like to highlight that everything you see on the web, we're building these videos using our in-game assets, using Unreal Engine 5. So the playable game, which players will interact with, will look exactly the same. And this is what is happening very often with many Web3 developers and traditional game developers just when they just invest in making fancy looking gameplay trailers, sorry, not gameplay, but just trailers which have no connection with the game. Traditional gamers are very, very tired of this. They want to see a quality, which is a super rare thing, especially recently for the last several years. As you see, almost every game which has been released for the last year had a very bad response from the audience because of lack of content, lack of quality, number of bugs which haven't been solved before. So why I'm mentioning this? Because it's very difficult to introduce blockchain and NFT technology and our concept and any concept related to blockchain to actually sell it to traditional gamers audience. This is why we decided to follow a completely different approach, which we set up for ourselves from the very beginning. We are not making it mandatory for players to interact with any specific part of the game. The game is a completely free-to-play product. Gamers can play it for free. They can collect in-game assets for free by simply playing the game, and they can use these assets by playing the game. If they want to start trading these assets, then we're putting all this additional functionality for as an additional service, and we provide the service to them as an additional part, but it doesn't prevent traditional gamers from any activity in a game if they don't want to pay or they don't want to interact with blockchain. Frankly speaking, they won't see the blockchain when they interact with the product. Everything works super smooth under the hood. So we do not ask you to connect to MetaMask when you install the game. We do not ask you to save your seed phrases when you start playing the game. So if you want this additional functionality, if you want the full ownership and the real control over everything, you can go to settings, you will find this functionality, and you can collect and store all of your in-game assets, for example, on a cold wallet. But if you're just want to play the game, just want to pay money for best in-game assets, which will go to other players, and pay the amount which was determined by other player who found some super rarible assets, which is, for example, was made where, for example, Gunzilla introduced only 10 assets in total of a specific weapon, for example. You pay directly for this asset to an owner who found this asset in a game, and you can simply enjoy the service. So what I'm trying to say that many people, they try to build a blockchain game. I think it's a wrong approach for traditional gamers. I think that you need to adapt into a product the best things, the best features which blockchain technology introduced to this world. And this is what we are doing.
Nice. And my other question regarding the detailed of the items, in-game items, then do you start with let's say full detail, or do you start with, let's say, a simpler equipment, and then you will expand and you will maybe break it down or add additional items? How do you start, or everything is going from start as?
Sure. Would love to explain it. You can see some highlights from our video, which is called Switcher Part 2. You may see how one of the players, how he found a data cube on the island and pick it up from one of the dead opponents, which he eliminated in this video. This data cube actually represents part of our in-game progression. So everyone appears in our game equal. As you see, we're staying very respectful to some core parts of this genre of battle royale space, because in PUBG, in Call of Duty Warzone, in Apex Legends. All players, they're appearing on the island. They appear on the island with the same weapon, with no additional stuff, and then they can find in-game assets. In our game, it's not only weapons. You can find body parts, which you can connect to your body and obtain new unique abilities. Or you can get into your session something out of this current gaming session, like, for example, loadouts in the game, which is called Call of Duty Warzone. So in Call of Duty Warzone, you can create in your meta, you can create a loadout which you can request on the island by collecting enough in-game currency. I can tell you that we were inspired a lot by the game which is called The Division. Some people who played this game before and who played the Dark Zone mode there, where you fight with real players for weapons and other in-game items, and where you play with real players in this mode, and you extract it out of the most dangerous location in New York City. We were inspired a lot by this model of progression, and we have something very similar in our game. So players need to find the data cubes, which you can which you can see. One of them you can see in our gameplay trailer called Switcher, as a part of which we released as a part of OTG Cinema movies created on our game engine. And these data cubes, by getting information out of them outside of the session, you can create, you can 3D print assets which you can use in future sessions, which might be skins, weapons, body parts, different modifications for weapons. This is how it
Sounds
works. I hope I
interesting.
answered the question.
Sounds interesting and complex, and this leads to my next question, because this is what bugged me, while I was watching your the videos you published, the gameplays. And if I just think to Warzone, right, what you just mentioned, in loadout there are so many small items. Do you think that blockchain as it is now, uh, however you are building your own, is it prepared for this time, this type and this volume of transactions? Because some people claim that blockchain is not ready yet, and maybe the games could suffer from the lack of speed in transactions on the blockchain. So is it how you resolve it, your own layer one, I think you said, on MX?
Uh, so first of all, why we created our layer one? We created on Avalanche, and I would like to make a free ad for Avalanche during this call,
Okay.
that because we're very proud of our partnership with them, and because they have one of the best technologies possible in the market, which you can use as their client, right? So using Avalanche for our own layer one was a great experience, and but number one priority for us was to let our players, to let our users who use Gunzilla chain to pay all commissions in our native token, which is called Gun. And it's not possible to make it without having your own subnet. We actually also have some other unique parts of the system. We have a network of NFT validators. These NFT validators, they do not represent any in-game items. This is a special state of NFTs which validate transactions in our chain, and it was also possible to only build it on Avalanche. And answering your question about actually effectiveness of our own layer one, which we worked a lot, and we already announced our own marketplace built on our Gunzilla chain, our companion app wallet, which our existing partners they already received early access to these products. They're live and working, including our block scanner, which we built for everyone who will be in future using Gunzilla chain. Actually, you will never hear from any game developer that sorry, we're not able to use blockchain because it's too slow. I think that this phrase is only can be said by people who actually do not own any gaming projects today, and they don't understand the number of transactions which actually games have daily. So if you know any, tell me any name of any gaming company who ever mentioned that blockchain technology is too slow or is not ready for them. I don't think so. What I'm most of all, I would say, concerned a little bit about, and I would like to maybe share my own personal idea that I do not understand how so many gaming layer ones and gaming chains appear, and all of them are promoting this subject of and the main competitive advantage of the speed of transactions, not the speed by number of transactions which they can operate with. Sorry for saying, but probably you may find in the whole world one, maybe two games which will be difficult to operate on blockchain, such as, for example, Fortnite and probably PUBG. Rest of them will never face any difficulties ever, and even Fortnite and PUBG can easily move to blockchain if they want to.
Okay, so you are saying that either the blockchain, as in the number of transactional speed, is underestimated, or maybe some of the games are overestimated on how much capacity they need.
No, I think that games actually they do not say that blockchain cannot fit our needs. I think that many crypto projects they think about it on behalf of game developers without knowing the real needs of game developers. This is my personal thought.
Oh, interesting, interesting. Thank you, thank you. Okay, off the grid, on which platforms will run? Is this going to be a PC game or other consoles as well? Steam game? How should we imagine what will be in the grand opening? Where will it be accessible for the public?
So the game will simultaneously be launched on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, and we won't be launching it on PC first. It will be launched on all three major platforms which I announced. I want to repeat again that we won't be supporting the previous generation of consoles, only the recent versions, including PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. So I'm not able to announce officially right now the publishing partner which we will be using for a PC version. We have one. This is what I want to say. And besides of distributing our game through publishers, we will also make this game available for players to be downloaded through our own launcher, which will provide such functionality as in-game voice chats, and many other technologies, including checking in-game stats and others. And of course, our wallet, where you can control your in-game assets, send it to your friends, send it to your cold wallet, check out how much tokens you made on something. This is all you can do through our own launcher and our mobile apps as well.
Okay, very nice. In the meantime, I just want to address our audience that if you have any questions, then you can type it in the comment, or at the end we will have a Q&A, and we will admit you as a speaker to ask your question about the game, about Gunzilla Games. So yeah, if you have any questions, prepare them, because I have a couple of more questions to Vlad, and then we will proceed to the Q&A. Vlad, next question which I have, will there be any private public testing for the game? Is there a plan to involve maybe a small group of community to have you test the game at some point? Uh, and can we know some dates maybe, or should they look out for announcement of this?
So I think it's a quite different approach for traditional game developers, because traditional AAA games, they do not provide public access most of times to their products before the release of the game. You can find out that, for example, Fortnite, PUBG, Call of Duty Warzone, Apex Legends, nobody provided an early access. They just opened their doors for their consumers. I can say that Gunzilla runs playtests several times per week. I guess 2 or 3 times when we test the game. We're running playtests with our existing partners in different fields. At the moment, right now, I'm not able to announce a specific date for a public test. This is a little bit different thing from Web3 space, where projects, when they can show not fully ready games to their audience, we don't have this option with traditional gamers. They expect the best possible quality at the day of the release, and yeah, probably this is the answer. So please wait for our updates. I might give you an insight the first time publicly that the next big thing which will appear everywhere on the web will be our gameplay trailer, which is a super unique thing which nobody made before. It will be pretty long gameplay trailer, which will be played live, and yeah. So I think that this is the next public milestone which you can expect.
Okay, nice. Now, I have only one question from the audience. Before that, I just wanted to ask you if you have any upcoming short-term announcements people should look out for in the upcoming, I don't know, weeks maybe.
The first thing which came to my mind to ask what our marketing department thinks about it, but um, right now I'm not able to announce any specific updates. I can just suggest to subscribe for our socials and wait for updates there.
Okay, nice, of course. Now, the one question which I got is that somebody said that streaming platforms' approach to games which incorporate Web3 wasn't very friendly in the past, let's say. Do you see an improvement regarding conversations, regarding discussions about integrating with the Web2?
So you said publishing partners or streaming platforms?
Streaming platforms.
We don't actually have any issues with them. And again, I think that first of all, because they do not treat us as a crypto game. They treat us as a traditional AAA super high quality multiplayer game with a completely new way of running economy inside using blockchain. So this is why we don't face any issues at all. I just want to say that sorry for adding this subject, that we face these difficulties in other spaces, right? Including, for example, Twitter, right? Which
Yes.
so, and including social networks, which make additional requirements for every blockchain-related project. And so, if you ask me whether we feel overall the not the, I wouldn't say difficulties, but some additional number of steps which we need to make to deliver our project and to introduce it to our audience. Yes, we're feeling this, but I wouldn't call it troubles, or this is just some additional steps which are needed to be done, and that's all. It's not a problem at all.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. We have one more questions before I let you go from the audience in the comments, and so Marta asked me if you can talk a bit about the tokenomics, the utilities of the in-game gun token.
So I'm not sure that we're ready to publicly share all the insights. Our partners, all of them are aware, and including Morningstar. This is what I want to say for sure. Which we, by the way, I would like to mention here as well, respect very much. And Morningstar Ventures made a lot for Gunzilla, and we're expecting the same attitude, and I would highly recommend it to any project in gaming space and in blockchain space to treat Morningstar as a tier 1 VC, because we're feeling a real value. Again, additional 30 seconds of free ads, but this is true. We partnered pretty long time ago, and I can state it based on already achieved results and received help in achieving our aim. This is actually what I had to mention.
Okay, thank you very much.
Regarding the sorry, after I spent so much time on
About the tokenomics of the gun utility. I don't know, maybe if you can tell us when
So,
it will be available, maybe at the launch or...
Sure. I will be able to let's say cover some major aspects of this economy. We have only one token in our economy. We don't have sub tokens. We don't have soft currency. We only have one token which serves all of the needs. And number one need, it is a currency which is made to pay for in-game assets for players. So if any player or anybody else who wants to buy one of a kind or unique asset, they can use our token to pay for this for this in-game item. I want to say that we are not partially in blockchain. We're not using blockchain as a hype. So every part, not only of monetization, but every part of progression in our game is built on blockchain. So even when players do not pay a cent, we always store all of the assets on blockchain. And again, I would like to highlight again that it doesn't mean that they need to interact with it. If they want to, they can. But we already make it possible for them to always have the full access to every asset collected before. Again, I understand that you would like to hear more the numbers about total supply.
Yes.
I would like to maybe highlight that we have so our token design is pretty unique. I gave you an insight about our validators economy, but unfortunately, this is everything we can publicly state at the moment, according to our go-to-market strategy.
Well, that is totally fine. You know how we are as audience. We always want to know everything as fast as possible. But I think you already shared a lot of things about Gunzilla, which seems to be a very interesting game, and I'm looking forward to see it in live. To experience it, to play it. So, Vlad, I would like to thank you for taking the time, for sharing your thoughts and giving us some insight into the game. And I hope that we can do this again sometimes.
Thank you for this conversation, and thank you everyone who attended this session. We're getting back to work to to ship an amazing game with the best possible quality available for a market.
Well, thank you very much. We are looking forward to it. Everyone, we have Twitter Spaces every 2 weeks. The next one is on 8th of June. My colleagues, Nine and Peter, will have a roundtable, so make sure that you tune in there as well. In the meantime, just give us a follow, Morningstar Ventures, Gunzilla Games, and yeah, have a nice evening, afternoon, or a day from wherever you are tuning in. Thank you again, everyone, and see you in the next episode.